matter. So I urge you to get actively involved. This is an odd year, an historic year really, because there are 3 openings on the Supreme Court. As you probably know, there are 7 seats on the Supreme Court. There have been 2 departures, 1 retirement and 1 more or less forced retirement. Excuse me. And Justice Stevens, Coriel Stevens, has to run for re-election. His term is up, so he has an opportunity to get re-elected if you so choose to put him there. So what it amounts to is that you now have 12 candidates who have filed for election to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. And I'm going to say this, and I'm not being critical of anybody. I'll bet you don't know who these people are. Have you ever met any of the 12 candidates?
Actually, they've all been to Lebanon County.
There you go. So some of them have been through Lebanon County?
Yeah.
You've met some of them?
At least to the caucus and
So you have a list down here of folks that you have evidently interacted with. And there are some interesting names. I will tell you that of the 12, I know 6 of them, and they're good people. Both Republicans and Democrats strike me as being qualified. You have the obligation to make a determination who best suits your interest. From a purely partisan standpoint with regard to redistricting, I lean toward Democrats. But it is entirely up to you to make yourselves as knowledgeable as you can about them, where they come from, what their background is, what types of positions they have taken. And it's not easy. It's not easy because there are constraints upon what they can talk about in a campaign. And they certainly can't tell you how they would rule in any particular given judicial action because it's against the judicial canon of ethics. So they're hamstrung. There was one candidate I heard just recently is declaring that he's not accepting any money from anybody, that he's going to try to raise his own money and that kind of thing to avoid even the appearance of being influenced by interest and outside interest. I'm not sure if that's rational in today's day and age. They're going to have to raise some money. They're going to have to get on the ballot. They're going to have to get on TV in the last couple of weeks of the campaign. And if you'll notice, there is a preponderance of folks from Allegheny and Philadelphia. That doesn't happen by accident. Typically, the deals that are made in the Democratic and Republican state committee end up putting a, big city Philadelphian and a big city Pittsburghian together. But there are people on that ballot that are not from the big cities that you should at least take a look at. I leave it to you to do that. I would suggest to you strongly that it really does. So I'm not here to endorse anybody or detract from anybody. I'm here simply to say, figure out who they are, learn a little bit about them, Google them, be a good citizen, and participate in the judicial election because it matters.